All right, guys, we're going to get started. For everybody watching at home, my name is Chris Welch. I'm a technical assistant specialist here at CCO. To the left of me is my colleague, my work mom, and the person that keeps me in line, Patti Mitchell. She's also a technical assistant specialist here at CCO. We want to welcome everybody to our new leadership series. This series is something that's been around. It was first developed back in the 80s by James Cousy, and this is called the Leadership Challenge. There's 5 things that we'll talk to you guys about today whenever we get into this, but first I want to make some announcements first. We will continue. This is the last leadership training for 2017. We'll start back again in January 2018, just like we always do. We want to give you guys the holidays off. We kind of know that you guys wouldn't come anyway, so we'll just take a break, give everybody a chance to regather thoughts, recharge, and spend time with family. So just a few things that we're going to continue to do, which is the Technology Thursday series, which is our online webinars over technology. This year we're going to focus on a lot of social media stuff, as we started off this month with YouTube on how to use that. So always encourage you, go to our YouTube channel. It's under Cherokee Nation Community and Cultural Outreach. If you'll go to that, you'll see all of these webinars, our cultural webinars, our history webinars, and also the Technology Thursday series. They're about an hour long each time, so they're not real long. We won't bore you to death, but they're great because they are how-tos, how to use technology. We're fully aware, most people that attend our trainings or people that come to these sort of things, you guys are all digital immigrants. We understand that. You guys are trying to learn this new way that the world is changing into. In the nonprofit world, we don't have a lot of younger people that were born in the digital age that are doing things. There are some, and they have taught us great things. But we understand you guys are trying to go into this, so we want you guys to be aware of that. These sessions will be every other month, the Leadership Challenge. After this, there will be 5 sessions, each one covering the things I'm going to talk to you guys about today. Today is going to be a rough overview of what this whole leadership challenge is. And the other sessions, we're really going to dive in deep to those. So continue to tell all your friends, come back. Any of you guys watching at home, there are CCO groups. We have a booklet here with all the training times, dates, all the good stuff that you need to know about CCO. So call us and request one. We'll mail one to you at our events. We'll have them to hand out. And guys here in the crowd, if you want to take it and pass it out to people, we would be much appreciated. You guys saw some handouts. Of course, I've got the PowerPoints for you guys as you guys came in. Here's a handout here over the things we're going to talk about today. And I think we're ready to get started. The Leadership Challenge. Today we're going to cover when leaders are at their best. And like I said, this is kind of an overview of what this Leadership Challenge is. Ground rules to start off with. We want to start and finish on time. Obviously, we started at 10:07, which we stayed true to our Indian time. Honestly, we were a little early for Indian time. Usually, we were about 8 minutes early. So there's usually a 15-minute lapse there. Be respectful to each other. Silent your cell phones or your tablets. You don't have to turn them off. If you need to take a phone call, please just get up and do so. Participate in the discussions. I know that sometimes that's not something we always want to do, but we do encourage you guys to do so because you guys get so much more from each other than you do from Patti and I. There are no wrong answers. Some opinions make more sense than others, and of course, guys, have fun. You think I would have brought you guys Halloween candy since it's Halloween today, but I did not. Just what we're going to do today, guys. Welcome and introductions. We're going to cover our learning objectives. We've got an icebreaker for you. Lorraine, we threw a video in there just for you, just like always. Patty's going to help us brainstorm. She's going to talk about the 5 practices of exemplary leadership, the 5 practices that make a difference, and the 10 commitments of exemplary leadership. Then you guys get me back. We're going to do an activity together. We're going to talk about what people look for and admire in their leaders. Okay, ability is the foundation. Then we'll finish with our last activity. Hey guys, this is just an overview today, but it's really going to set in stone the excitement that you guys should have for leadership after this. What we're wanting to get out of today is this, without reading the book, right? Books anyway. Leaders think personally to those who follow. Okay, there's a difference there. The ultimate credibility as a leader, that's a big thing. What are the 5 after today? Each time we'll really dive in deep to these. Leader do you look up to? How many of you look up to 3? How about a celebrity? Anybody look up to a celebrity? No? A teacher or a coach? Oh, almost the whole room. How about a family member? Yeah? Religious leader? A community or civic leader? All right. So the people that we look up to are people we have a personal connection to, right? No, hardly anybody raise their hand on celebrity, not one person.
They're very powerful.
Yeah, they are very powerful. They have a voice, right? Who's on Good Morning America every day? Is it your local political leader? No, it's not. It's your celebrities, it's your business leaders, it's your community and civic leaders, people that are in, political leaders that are in trouble. That's what was on my TV this morning. So
celebrities are kind of like putting on for a show or something.
Celebrities are putting on a show, absolutely. And be honest, they're pretty good at it, right? I mean, enough to get paid millions of dollars to do so. Yeah, absolutely. It kind of gives you an idea. The more personal connection that we have with leaders, the more likely we are to want to follow them or try to do some of the same things that they do, or even take their concept and push them to a whole new level, right? Take their ideas, mix it with ours, and make it happen. Take the good and make it your own. We'll talk about that here in just a minute, but this video here is going to be a great overview for what this session is going to be. You'll hear from both of the writers of this book. Again, they started this back in the 80s. This thing has been revised with the times. So I think they're on the 6th edition now of this book. So they have readapted these values and these ideas every so many years, every 5 to 10 years, and they've re-put them back into place. But it originally started back in the 80s. Let's see if the internet will work with us today. There's one of your celebrities, Jack.
Imagine mobilizing others to make extraordinary things happen while building meaningful relationships in the process. That's you, that's your leadership best. If you want to get there, we can show you a clear path to follow.
It's clear that a better world starts with better leaders. But what if leadership is not a gift from birth, not something you were born with? What if leadership is a gift that can be given to those around us, to our organizations, and to the world? The Leadership Challenge is a global campaign to liberate the leader in everyone. We believe that our teams, our organizations, and our world gets better when ordinary people enable those around them to make extraordinary things happen. That's why Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner have gathered evidence on exactly what great leaders actually do. And we've distilled that evidence into 5 clearly defined practices that anyone can follow to get breakthrough results and make an enormous contribution in any company, campus, or organization around the world. Great leaders model the way, inspire a shared vision, challenge the process, enable others to act, and encourage the heart. The Leadership Challenge model is based on over 30 years of research by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner. Under the guidance of their vision, we've created pathways for everyone, from students to managers to CEOs, to get started on their leadership journeys. Our leadership development tools are all designed with a single goal in mind: to liberate the leader within everyone. So where do you start? Developing extraordinary leaders begins by identifying where you and your team members are in your personal leadership journeys. The Leadership Practices Inventory, LPI, will enable you to measure your leadership competencies and act on those discoveries. You'll gain a deep insight into how you see yourself, how others view you, and what you can do to improve your effectiveness. Over 3 million people have used the LPI as their first step. We're all looking for evidence and clarity, and that is especially important when you are taking a journey toward leadership. Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner built the Leadership Challenge not on a hunch or a personal vision, but on exhaustive research. Today, our model is proving to liberate the leader within. Are you ready to achieve the extraordinary?
Are you guys ready? Or did you guys have enough caffeine yet today? Winter leaders are at their best. Here's a little brainstorm. And for that, we're bringing up Miss Patti Mitchell.
Just a second, we're going to fire up the microphone. I think we're on now.
Alrighty. Hey guys. I haven't been up here in a while, have I? So, you've seen me scurrying around other ways, but not in front of you. So, that video we just watched, how many powerful words were in there? Did y'all see them? Like, exhausted, research. I mean, that thing was loaded with powerful words. And it was short, just to the point words. It kind of drove a message to you, right? I mean, you kind of like got the point by very little words. That's part of leadership, because you can do a whole lot with very little if you know the secrets to the game. So that's what we're going to work on now, and I just want to brainstorm with you just a little bit, and I want to go back a couple slides because I saw something in here that was very interesting, and it was, where's the follower one, Chris? Right here. Where does it say follower? Yeah, right here. Red button. See that? Thinking how they make a difference both professionally and personally to those who follow them. There's your key words right there. If you don't have a follower, you're not leading anything. Does that make sense? Think of geese. Think of geese, you know. Right now we're seeing a lot of geese flying, right? There has to be a leader, right?
Yep.
But he's flying alone. He's not making that V pattern. He's just quacking up there unless he has the rest of the flock, right? So think of that. That's the most powerful word in leadership. Because if you don't have one person to follow you, you're not leading anything. You're just talking to yourself. You're just in your head. All right? So I just wanted to kind of bring that up. Let's go back to where we were. How about this guy? You think of him as a leader?
No.
No? A lot of us don't. But he does have the title right now as the leader of our country. What is his message here telling you? What do you think of that first?
You really want to know what we think? Or
No. I want you to look at these pictures. We're not going to talk politics. We're talking about him as a leader right now. What's he telling the country? What's he telling the country right here?
I say everything's going to be good.
Yeah. Or I like myself very much. Yeah. Or I just got elected. I mean, it could be a lot of things, right? What's he telling everybody here? I don't know.
Yeah.
Holler it out. What are you thinking, Gary? What's he saying here?
He doesn't have a clue what he's doing.
I like Jack's opinion on it.
We got some haters in the room. I don't have a clue. That's probably what he's saying. Or he's saying, don't you believe me? Right?
It's not my fault.
Not my fault. You know, he's either beckoning you or he's really saying, something else, right? He's saying, I don't know.
What's going on?
I don't know what's going on, right? But right here, he says, I know what's going on, right? Or I like myself very much. It's a good hair day. How about this one? How about this one? What's he saying there?
He's probably bragging about himself.
He's probably bragging about himself. Yeah. How about this one here? Is this the best picture in the whole group?
Probably
There?
is.
You know why? Why would you pick that as probably the best picture?
Well, he doesn't have a smirk on his face.
Didn't have a smirk on his face. It's a genuine smile. Well, what's going on there? When you surround yourself with someone who is likable and has credibility and power, guess what? You just made yourself likable, credible, and powerful. And that's the only reason I put this up here, because standing alone, a lot of us don't like them. Right?
Right.
Or a lot of us love them. I don't know which. But when you pair yourself with someone of the past or of the future, you create that bond of you have a follower, you have a leader, you have two leaders, but you get credibility, you get power. You understand what I'm saying? So a lot of us have a best friend, a soulmate, or something in our life. And we keep them with us. What? My husband always says I'm Patty's husband. No one knows his name. He's Patty's husband, he's Trent's dad. But you know what? He's our biggest follower. And he's always in those pictures, and he's always powerful to us. He keeps us connected. Right? So think about those things when you build these relationships. All right, we're going to have another fun one. You ready? How about this guy? Is that a leader?
He's an idiot.
He's an idiot. That's the first thing that comes out of your mouth. Oh, does this make him powerful, having all that?
He thinks he does.
He thinks he does. How does he get his followers?
Intimidation, maybe.
By force, by intimidation. Just think about that. Remember the bully in school? Yeah? Right? This is the bully. This is the bully in Korea. Oh. But how about here? Man, he's got good company. He's got a hot wife. Yeah, right? Look at all them great guys over there cheering him on. I had no idea they had a water park in North Korea. But apparently they do. So look, he's got followers. Look, behind him he's got followers. Got a hot wife.
That's probably a doctored photo.
It's probably a doctor photo, right? Staged is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Staged.
Fake.
Exactly. Most of his photos, they might be real photos, but they're staged.
Yeah.
Why? Intimidation, just like what you said up here. He's a bully, right?
Yep.
But sometimes that does make you a leader, a very lonely leader, and you won't last long.
Right.
But, all right, how about this one? Probably one of the most powerful images we've ever had, right? MLK? Oh, but look, his hand gestures are no different than Trump's. He's putting it out there. Well, what was he bringing back? Why do we like him?
I think he had a lot of respect from his followers.
He earned the trust and he earned the respect.
He seems to be excited about what he's got to say, too.
Yeah.
Exactly. He's excited about what he's saying. He has a real message.
He was real passionate about his cause. I know that.
Right. How many people watched The Voice last night? Y'all watch that? What did they say about that one lady? They said when she sang the song, it felt like you felt every inch of the song, right?
Right.
Because she could tell that story. She could emotionally get into it because she really did believe it. There was a lot of singers last night that did that. That's what this man did. You know why? It's called boots on the ground, right? He grew up that way. And he knew what he needed to change.
And he believed it when he was saying something.
And he believed it. But guess what? I gave you a message a minute ago when I said, how many of you watched The Voice last night? What was their gift? What was their gift in that show last night? Singing, The Voice. right? They were meant to sing, every single one of them. I'm not meant to sing. Mm-mm. You'll never see me on that show. But guess what? He was given the same gift, the voice. You get it? Some of us are meant to lead because we were given that voice. So, he doesn't bully it,
I'll tell you somebody else that I can remember when I was a
Okay.
kid
right?
that had a voice. Franklin D. Roosevelt,
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
very good orator.
He was a good
excellent.
speaker. He was a very good speaker.
Believable and hell of a leader.
And he was in it,
I
he,
realized that when I was a kid.
right, and he had to run a country that needed him, right?
He brought us through World War II.
And we didn't necessarily see him. We
Yeah.
heard him on
Yeah,
the
but we
radio.
didn't have a
You
TV
listened to him
back
on the
then.
radio. So it was, again, it was a voice,
Right,
and it was compassionate, and you followed him without ever seeing
right.
body language. You felt his body language, right? Right. Very good point. Man, you guys are in tune.
Even as a kid, he was very impressive. And
Right.
I was about 6 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And I still remember that to this day, that him speaking on the radio.
That's awesome. Okay, we got another one. How about that? Anybody remember that? I was a young person.
Oh,
What
that's,
did they-
what do you call this?
That's Russell Mead,
Yes,
right there.
Oh, yeah, he did, okay.
Yeah?
All those guys.
So is this a positive image? Maybe.
I guess it's, yeah, I was gonna say your standpoint you're coming from.
Which standpoint you're coming from. Very, man, you guys are in
If you
tune.
believe in AIM, you're probably right. If you
You're right.
don't, then you
Right.
have a different viewpoint.
But did this change a lot for Native Americans too? Awareness?
Well, yeah, it probably did.
Yeah. This changed for Native Americans more than gaming has. You know why? Of the followers.
And it was voice.
Exactly. It was a big voice. Now, was this a great message? And that's what people remember, right? They remember this part. They don't remember that part.
Right.
So, if you ever get a chance, go back and watch the documentary on it. I've watched it over and over and again, and I pick something up new every time. Because it's my history. It's your history. So, is it a good history? Not to everybody. But it did give us a voice. It started the discussion. And things, huge, believe it or not.
Well, she's been around long.
Yes. Again, started as a, weather girl or something like that. Made her own destiny, didn't she? And how many people follow her? Yeah. I'd say a lot of people call her a leader. Yeah. And she gives great quotes too. I like that. You become what you believe, not what you wish or want, but what you truly believe. When I wake up in the morning, I say one thing to myself. I say, you know what's great? That's what I say to myself every morning. Yeah. You know what's great? And then sometimes life happens and I don't get to finish that sentence because something's not always so great. You know? It's raining, it's snowing, a flat tire. But I try to say that every morning. And I think that's what Oprah did. Is she woke up every morning and she found the greatness in the world and she put it on television for us and continued it. So that's why she has so many followers. She found great products too.
Yeah.
Right? And then she gives them to the audience. So, how about Mother Teresa up there? Do it alone, person to person. Huh? She's very giving, right? A very long, fulfilled life. So, all right. How about Gandhi? My life is my message. My life is my message. How simple is 5 words? How simple is 5 words? It could change your life. So, Abraham Lincoln. I destroy my enemy when I make him my friend. I destroy my enemy when I make him my friend. So, wish our politics would work that way today, right? But we can. If we take Mother Teresa's philosophy and we bundle it up person to person, we can make all our enemies our friends, person by person. And then, how about Estee Lauder there? I didn't get there by wishing for it or for hoping for it, but by working for it. How many of us today just want things to naturally happen? They just think, oh, that's just the roll of the dice, that's just my luck. No, you wake up every morning and you say, you know what's great? And you finish the sentence, as these great people have. And they worked for it every single day. And they dedicated their life to it. And Gandhi did it in 5 words. So, I hope this has been inspiring to you guys. So just kind of look at all the different kind of leaderships and what everybody perceives as leadership. So, and then take it a step further. Where do you see yourself? Where do you see the leaders in your community? How can you aspire to these things? You know, whether you be young, old, a couple, as my husband and I are, constantly a couple. You know, could be a young child. Lots of young children. I know that Chris is involved with Relay for Life, and a lot of children are affected by cancer, and we lose some of them. But on their journey, their short time on earth, how many of those children have made an impact on people's lives that have lived here for 80, 100 years, right? Those children with such few days in this world make more of an impact than someone my age. So it's a lot to be said and learned from those children. And if we could just embrace what they're doing, because they know, they understand it. How about this guy? Anybody ever feel like him? Yeah? I wish I could jump like that. Gary feels like him every single day. I wish. But, you know, no matter what your silhouette is, truly, we all have that leader, whatever we are, however young, old. If we do it as a couple, if we do it high off the ground, Gary. Oh.
More like that guy with the question mark over his head.
Yeah, you're more like this guy. Yeah, I hear you. But it doesn't matter what we're shaped like. It's just a matter of what we're doing. Take those 5 words. All right, so 5 practices. So model the way. What does that mean to you? We just kind of went over some things. Model the way. What would that mean to you?
Kind of like leading by example.
Leading by example, exactly. Right. Not do as I, what is it? Do as I say, not as I do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, that's not the right one, right? It's leading by example, right? So, how about inspire a shared vision? That mean teamwork to anybody? You know, bring more people into your vision and tell them the story, person to person, just like Mother Teresa did. Oprah does it. She has a shared vision and then she went forward with it, right? You don't have to save the world, but you can save your community or your community organization, or you can save a child, right? Or the child can save you. Challenge the process. Chris is really good at challenging the process. He will challenge everything. He challenged me this morning. And I challenged him back.
Does that mean he's kind of a pain or something?
I didn't say pain. But it's good. It's good to have discussion. If someone doesn't, if everybody just always agrees, it becomes old, it becomes stale, it doesn't.
Somebody's lying.
Yeah, someone's lying. There's no heartbeat, right?
Right.
Right? Why would you want to come? Why would you want to be part of it?
You
Right?
get another perspective on what's going on.
Exactly, Gary. It's always good to have that person, and I think you and I had that discussion here not too long ago. It's really good to have that person that you can bounce things off of constantly. And that usually is a best friend, right?
No longer with me. That's what I miss the most about our relationship is that we bounced ideas on it, but we
Right.
did get a difference of opinions.
Yep. And it wasn't like you verbally intimidated each other. You just gave a different perspective, right?
And it's
Right.
good to bounce ideas
Yeah.
off people.
Yeah. And you lost a dear friend, and I'm sorry to hear about Newt, and he was a wonderful man. But find
Somebody else.
Find someone else, because you really, really need that. You really, really need that in your life and in your organization. So, enable others to act. How many of us do that? How many of us try to do it all because we can do it better, right? Right?
It's just easier a lot of
It's
times.
just easier. I was waiting for someone to say, it's just easier for me to just go ahead and finish it, right? But how do our young people learn if we keep doing it?
You just can't do it all. I mean, there's no way. You need to surround yourself with people with a lot of different talents to make
Right.
things work.
Right. I just recently went to a meeting, and they had some really good people in the meeting. I thought they were pretty eager to get things done. But there was one person that constantly said, well, I'll do that. I can do that. Okay, I'll get that done too. And finally I had to just to stop this person and say, let's spread it out, because you can't do everything. You're going to exhaust yourself. You're going to burn out. All right? So, but as I think the trending word today is we enable. We do. We do, because it's simpler, right? It's simpler just to go ahead and take care of it, right? So, but spread the stuff out and start getting your young people involved. So, enable others to act. Encourage the heart. What does that mean? Encourage the heart. Encourage the heart. Come on. You know what it means.
Share and passion.
Share and passion. What's it mean, Gary?
That's how you get emotionally involved. Get 'em-
Emotional involved? Emotional intelligence and emotional. Okay?
Getting other people involved with what your passion is, like the Rainbow House. We're there because we want to be there.
You're there because you want to be there. How do you get other people there?
They share the same passion we do.
You-
There's nobody to get paid. or
What if it's a
anything.
new person that just came to town? How would you get them there?
Usually those people are the ones that come in and use our facility, and they see what we do, and they say, I want to be part of that.
They get to experience it. Yeah? How about you?
And you have to reinforce those that participate, by
Oh, yeah.
be sure you let them know you appreciate what they do.
Yeah, there's a big ticket. How about you?
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh, he took your words.
He kinda really did, but we had an appreciation dinner the other day, and everyone really seemed to appreciate the appreciation.
Exactly.
Everybody needs a pat on the back, everybody needs hang in there,
Right.
We try to give them ownership.
Ownership.
Ownership in what we're doing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So, y'all were all just, George, we skipped you. You got anything? Okay. He's being shy today. But you all, every one of you nailed it on the head. And that's what all this is saying. It's, the 5 practices. I think all of us that are here today and in these positions, we understand this already. But sometimes we just need to remind ourselves. And like you said, you feed off, he took your words, right? He took your words, but why? Because y'all work as a team. The 3 of you work as a team. So what? You finish each other's sentences, right?
We think alike.
You think alike. Yeah, because you're telling the same story. You're leading with your heart. Oh. And you didn't get your feelings hurt that he took your words. No, that's huge. That's huge.
He's a leader.
Think about it. Think about how many times people get upset when someone else takes their words. Yeah, the jealousy and the rage, and they're not really committed to what they're there for. So, all right. So, 5 practices that make a difference with your team. I think we just talked about a lot of this. Know who your people are. Know what they value. They do it because they love it, right? Passion, passion, passion. All right. What they care about and what they stand for. That's all pretty simple. Can y'all add anything to that? What have you added to your team? It's beyond all this. I have stumped you.
I think what he said about taking ownership, giving them the chance to take ownership,
Ownership,
they do a better job then.
Right.
And they enjoy it more. And make it fun. You know, it doesn't have to be grim.
make it fun. That's where I was at. I mean, you know, today's Halloween. Make it a party, right? I mean, why do we have holidays? Because 12 months would be pretty boring with only my birthday to celebrate, right? Which is 4th of July, right? That's why we celebrate it, right? It's because it's my birthday. Oh, because it's 4th of July. Sorry. But you understand? You know, we've got to make things fun for people to come. That's where they're going to find some passion,
I
too.
think they've got to feel important about what they do too.
Yeah.
The importance. So that's the ownership. But how do you drive that importance? I mean, how do you get people interested and feel important? What's the key? How do you give them ownership?
You need to listen to them, you need to listen to their opinion.
Aha.
But, you know, they're the troops on the ground. You know, they know exactly what goes on.
The troops on the ground, he
Troops on the
says.
ground.
Yeah.
That's where you get your best information, and that's who you're talking about here. So you listen to them,
Right.
and you work from there. As a leader,
And what if you're just running your executive board and your board and maybe a few outside people, but you're keeping it kind of closed and tight-lipped, and you're not letting anybody else in that side of it. You just want them to come and volunteer and do all the work. Is that going to work?
not very well.
Not very well.
Not very long.
Not very long. Exactly.
But, you know, because some of these people take abuse from
Yeah.
people coming in, you know, and they have to have dedication in order to overlook some of these things and still stick with you. That's why you have to try to make it fun as possible, because there's sometimes it's not too fun.
It isn't. It's a hard job. It
Yeah,
really is.
it's
It's
not
work.
an easy job, you know. And if they have ownership in this, that are a part of owning it, you know, maybe we might assign different people to do certain areas and stuff like that.
So
Take
do
ownership.
you have designated tasks that they would do, that they can sign up for?
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
Pretty much.
Mhm, yeah.
So it's kind of like an open call.
Yeah, so we
let's
have-
say.
We need this done, and then you see who wants to.
And how do you make that publicly known within your group or within the community? Maybe a newcomer could come and help you fulfill something that's challenging
Well,
for you.
word of mouth's pretty good.
Word of mouth.
We have kind of like managers in, you know.
Yeah, we have elders in charge. now.
Elders in charge.
So
Okay.
they see who wants to do what kind of job and if they're good at doing certain.
Okay, so
jobs.
you've kind of like subcommitted.
That's correct.
Absolutely. That's
Within.
why I said one person can't do it all. You
Exactly.
have to have a team to make this work.
To make
We
it
have a
work.
pretty good team,
Yeah.
And
right down to our
it's-
volunteers.
It's very like a family, you know, that's
Yeah.
one of the things that we push for,
Mhm.
is it is like a family, they support each other, you
Exactly.
know, in the job and out. So it's,
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I think you really need to praise people when they do things, because they're not getting anything else, you know, by way of
Praise.
monetary rewards or
Importance.
anything.
Ownership, praise, have fun. Yeah. Yeah, this could have went a lot deeper than what it did. I think it just hit the surface, kept it safe. So, all right, so the 10 commitments are find your voice. Okay, and this is in your handout. So find your voice, clarifying your personal vision. I think that was telling your story. Why am I doing this? You know? Right? Set the example, aligning your actions with shared values. Bringing in a follower, a good buddy, a newt. Right? Envision the future, imagining, exciting. I don't know what that word is. Ennobling? Activities? Is that what that word is? I've never heard of that word either. We just made up a word. All right. So, enlist others in a common vision. I think that one is huge. And I think that's exactly what you guys just described. Because you not only have the big picture, but then you have the sub pictures You have the photo album now. Yeah, you have the big photo album, which is the big picture, and then page by page, you have broken it into how does this help and where do you want to be? Which page do you want to be on? And they can turn the page and go on to another page if they decide to, right? They're not stuck. Yeah. So, okay, search for opportunities, seeking innovative ways to change, grow, and improve. I think every one of us are really good at that. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here today trying to absorb more. We just had a huge dedication over at Weber Falls. They just accomplished getting recognized as Trail of Tears. If you haven't been to it, it's phenomenal. And what a walk through history, and then the museum on top of that. So I just hats off to you guys, because you had a vision and you just kept going and going and going and knocking on doors until they finally got recognized. And it's huge. It's huge. So, all right, so experiment and take risks. You took risks. All right, small wins and big wins and a lot of mistakes. And you just got to learn to laugh at those mistakes and just go on, because you're not learning if you're not making mistakes, right? So foster collaboration. I think you guys are all real good at that. Could you be better at it? Sure. Can you bring more people into your circle? Sure. Can you partner with other communities? Sure. Did you partner with a whole another group that was like 1,000 times more members than your members? Yeah. Was you scared? Was you just a little bitty dot inside their organization? But guess what? Where were they during their big day? They were on your land, at your location. So that's huge. Strengthen others, sharing power. We don't, just because you're the leader doesn't mean you always have to be the one up there in front talking. You don't have to be the Trump just because you're the leader. There's other people that have a voice, other people that do just as good at things, and other people that talk just as well. You can be MLK and have that voice. What was it, Roosevelt? Have that voice, and no one even knows what you look like, right? So when you finally got to see him, what did you? After growing up listening to him, and then you finally got to see a picture of him. Did he fulfill what you thought?
He was still impressive.
He was still impressive.
Even in the wheelchair.
Even in the wheelchair.
That was a leader. I don't care if it was a wheelchair.
No matter
or not,
what it was.
That was a leader.
Yep. He painted that picture a long time ago. Okay, recognize contributions. Y'all did. Y'all had a huge celebration, right? And then you celebrated the value and victories. So the spirit of a community. I think all of y'all do that. I know Gary does that time in and time out when he fires up that big old grill and he feeds a lot of people, because all I ever hear about and all I ever rage about is Gary's cooking. We're going. I agree. It's pretty dadgum good. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for letting me be up here. Appreciate it. And I'm going to hand it back over to Chris.
All right. Let's hear it for Patti. Thanks for everything you just taught us today, Patti. You guys get me back, I'm going to make you do something. So we're going to have an activity. What I want you to do, I just gave you guys some little Post-it notes there in front of you. I want you guys to take 5 of those off. Okay? What I want you to do is think of someone that you admire, someone that inspires you. It could be someone you personally know. It could be somebody that you've watched on TV or people that you've heard of in your history books, someone that inspires or someone that you admire. I want you to think of that person. And I want you to write down on each piece of paper an attribute, something about that person that makes you admire them. On each piece of paper, write one thing. So you'll have a total of 5 things about this person that inspires you or that you admire about that person, okay? I'll give you guys a few minutes, give you guys about 5 minutes to do that. 5 things.
You want to put each thing on a piece of paper?
Yeah. Just put each thing on one, like someone that you inspired, good listener or whatever, but write one thing on each piece of paper. I'll tell you what I want you guys to do after we do.
You want us to put down the name of the person?
No.
Oh, okay.
You don't even have to write the name of the person down.
Oh, okay.
Just things that you look up to that person. You don't even. Well, we'll go around the room, and if you guys are comfortable telling me who you guys picked, I'll let you guys do that. But yeah, so like on each one, you just write one thing here, and then one thing here. That by the time you have 5 attributes about that person. And this can kind of be a hard thing to pick out one person. There's a lot of people that I admire, so it's hard to just kind of pinpoint just one. I better press mute on my microphone, or all they're going to hear is me walking around breathing heavy. Okay. Everybody just let me know when you're done. I'll tell you the next step. Okay, everybody done? Everybody ready? Okay, next step. Of the 5 things you wrote down about that person that you admire, you guys see 2 pieces of paper here. One says personal, the other says professional. Think of that attribute of each one that you wrote down and decide whether that's a personal or if that's a professional trait of that person. Yeah. Of the things you wrote down here, decide whether it's a personal
Okay.
attribute or is it a professional attribute. If you think it's somewhere in the middle, stick it on the whiteboard up here. If it's a little bit of both, if you think. So go ahead and place your Post-it notes up here on whether it's personal or whether it's a professional trait that you like about this person. I think you guys are writing it down on your pieces of paper. I want you to put your Post-it notes on the flip charts up here. Whether on that attribute, put it there on the personal. If it's a professional trait, put it on the professional. It was supposed to be a round robin. I don't have enough people to do the round robin, so. So just put those up, and they'll be one team.
Remember, when you read mine, I'm dyslexic.
I won't read them, actually. So.
I really am.
Are you?
That's not always a good thing either.
All right. It looks like on our personal side, we've got, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. We've got 16 on the personal side. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what's that tell us about things that we look like, with what we look for in leaders? We like those personal traits, right? We like those things that make us feel good about what they're doing, those personal things that they do every day, the please, the thank yous, the ideas that they share with us, right? We look for that more than we do the professional traits. Not saying that the professional traits aren't necessary and are important to, especially the work that we do. As human beings, we still want that emotion, right? We still want that feeling of feeling good. And when we see things, personal things that people do, that draws us in, doesn't it? Are you more than likely to follow somebody that says please and thank you to you, or someone that says do it now and never speaks to you again? Right? So we look for that personal connection to people. And I'm just going to ask, Linda, do you want to share who the person is that you look up to?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
I started to put my parents, but then I thought, that goes without saying.
Yeah.
But one person that I have admired for many, many years is Winston Churchill.
Winston Churchill.
And I've read a lot of things about him and studied a lot about him. And one thing that he said that has kept me going for many, many years is never, 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 never give up.
George, how about you? Grandfather, and why is that?
Well, he was an old cowboy, and he sat and talked to me years, just sat and talked, and he'd tell me, be honest and don't lie, and he told me one time, he said, it's not a sin to steal, but it is to get caught.
So he shared his values with you as a person. He wanted to pass those on to you. So he shared his vision of his values with you, basically, like we've been talking about today. Gary, who did you write down?
I wrote down my granddad.
Your granddad? What was the things you looked up to him?
Well, he knew a lot of things about a lot of things. Just like he made bows and arrows, and he blacksmithed, and different things he could do, and yet he, if you are up on Indian traditions and stuff, he doctored us and took care of us.
Yeah.
It's a family trait, and just different things. And we'd go hunting when we was kids, and like I say, we wasn't very old probably, but he always took every step we took. When we'd go hunting, we'd be gone all day long, and he never, he took every step we took. Walked
That's
many
awesome.
a mile when we was hunting. He always kept up with us.
And he always kept up with you. That's awesome.
Most time he led the way.
Actually, you guys were following in his footsteps, so to speak, right? Lorraine?
I thought of my dad for his strength. He was a hard-working gentleman, and he was very talented in many different directions, but he was always there for us. He was always our pillar of strength. We went to for us. He was just a good.
Absolutely. Jack, how about you?
My dad also. I remember Dad being out in the fields where he was a sharecropper farmer. We grew up on the farm.
Yeah.
He farmed with horses. I see him out in the field, 4 horses out there, 2 teams of horses, pulling farm implements, doing whatever,
Yeah.
things like that.
So he was a pillar of strength for you guys.
Honest man I ever knew, and he had all kinds of strength, and there were 6 of us kids, and he took care of all of us.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing I can remember him saying when my brother and me were growing up, we were probably teenagers by then, but he would talk about, respecting women.
Mm-hmm.
You don't abuse women. And he told us, he said, you can't be much of a man if you have to hit a woman. I've never forgotten it.
It's great.
I've
Again,
never seen him strike my mother. I've never struck him.
shared his vision with you. He passed on his values
Absolutely.
onto his
Really
family.
stuck with me.
We never heard crosswords between my mom and Dad. He never.
Never.
Just didn't.
Just didn't
They had
happen.
them, but not in front of us.
Not in front of the kids, right? How about you?
I put my big sister.
Your big sister? Does she have another sister?
She says another big sister too.
That's great. And what is it about her that inspires you or you admire?
Amazing. She's a giver.
She's a giver.
to the
Right.
nth degree.
That's awesome. Did you guys notice about every person that you guys picked except for Linda?
Do what? They're all personal.
They're all personal.
Yeah.
And she didn't say you, George.
Do what now?
So how do you feel that she didn't pick you?
Yeah, I think she should.
Yeah, she probably should have, right? That's great. What people look for and admire in their leaders. First is honesty. They look for that honesty in somebody. What does honesty create?
Trust.
What's the nucleus? Absolutely. The nucleus of everything is trust. Whenever we work with other people, when we're looking to inspire other people, when we're looking to build and share our vision with people, what do they need from us? They need to trust us, right? How do we do that? Honesty. We stay honest with them. We have to. We have to stay honest. Forward thinking. Forward thinking. Are we going to follow the person that says, well, things are great. Let's keep doing things the way we've always done. I don't want to work any harder or do anything special, so let's just keep doing this. Is that somebody you really want to follow? No. You need somebody, Patti. I'm going to go ahead and say that Patti said me challenging the process wasn't just a joke, because I challenge the process because I want to move forward. I want to change things for the better. Good enough isn't good enough. We, as leaders, we have to grow every day. We have to change the status quo. We're here because there's a problem, right, in our communities. You have to be forward thinking. You guys could have just said, well, let's hand out a few groceries and a few clothes at the Rainbow House and everything will be good. Would you still be asking people for donations? Would you still be writing for grants? Would you still be trying to make things better even though you've done a really good job of meeting the need? You see there's more of a need out there, and it's not just the locust countries even is what enables fire to see your vision. So whenever let's just keep moving on the way we're going, right? That does not inspire people. Competency. You ever been around somebody that talks a big game?
Yeah.
It does nothing.
Can't ever really follow through.
Yeah.
It's those are people that we want to be inspired by. Or these are the people that inspire followers. Do we really look at them as leaders? I know really great people with great ideas that say they're going to do great things, but they just can't quite put it all together. You know why that is? they're not truly leaders yet. You can't be a leader of one. You have to inspire others to see it your way. You have to inspire others to even take your small vision and completely blow it out of the water and create a whole new vision that's encompassed into that. That's how you inspire others. You can't do everything on your own, like Patti talked about earlier. The lady sitting at the meeting, oh, I'll do that. Well, I'll do this. Oh, yeah, I can do that too. Is she really ever going to have time to do all those things? No. That's why you share your story. You share your vision. You share your values. You bring people into your organization, people into your inner circle that you know that are going to help support you and support to make it happen. That's how you do it. Competency is a big thing. If you say you're going to do something, do it. And don't take in more work than you can handle. I think we're all a little bit guilty of that sometimes, right? Inspiration. Let's talk about inspiration. What inspires you? What inspires you, Lorraine?
Somebody who is willing to go one step farther. You know, somebody who knows what they're talking about, and I can hook on to what they're talking about.
And you can hook on to feel that connection, right? Jack, what inspires you?
Well, trying to think about that. Well, you know, somebody that, I gave you an example about FDR, you know.
Yeah.
Even a 6-year-old like I was at the time, that was a great inspiration to me, and I've never forgot it. Just his leadership qualities, and I knew, even at that small age, what troubling times we were in.
Yeah.
And I followed him right on through. I thought, when I was a kid, I thought FDR was the only president there ever was, and Joe Louis was the only heavyweight champion.
That's until Rocky Marciano came around, right? Absolutely, guys. Inspiration, what inspires us? The people that step up and do what has to be done, right? The people who aren't satisfied with the status quo, people that want the world to move forward. They want their families to be better. And I have to think of my dad. My dad worked very hard my entire life. I mean, he was a lineman for Lake Region Electric. He worked in snowstorms, ice storms, in the middle of thunderstorms on top of a pole with lightning crashing around him. Sometimes I wouldn't see him for 2 weeks because when things like that happen, it's not like it was now. It was, you worked till the job was done. They didn't care if you were tired or sleepy or hungry or cold. You worked until it was done. And I always asked him, Dad, why do you do that? Why do you put yourself in that situation? And he would always say, because I want you to have a better life than I had. He always put us first. He never said, I'm quitting this job because I'm tired. These kids can fend for themselves. I'll find something else. They're just going to learn to live a different way. He never said that. He always wanted us to have a better life than what he had. So he was always wanting things better for others. And I think that's what we do as community members, right? As people, we want to inspire those around us so we can be better each day. So we can have a better life. So our kids can have a better future. They won't have to work as hard as we did. They won't have to learn from as many mistakes as we had to learn from. And it's up to us to show them life can always be better. We don't have to settle for this to make the world a better place. We just have to be willing to do the work.
You know, my dad, he and Mom, they taught us how to work. So many kids nowadays don't know how to work. They've never been shown what it is to really work.
Yeah.
But all of us, we knew how to work. And raised my kids the same way. They're not afraid of working either.
Yeah.
I can remember one instance where I got a job at the flour mill. I came home and told Dad I got a job at the flour mill. I told him what I was doing. He said, you won't last a week. He said, what, when he told me that? When he told me that, you know, there was no way I was going to quit. He was pretty close to right, though. Too right.
Yeah.
I'd have died before I quit. You know, I got thinking about years later. You know, he said that for a reason. He wasn't being smart.
Yeah.
He said that for a reason, so I wouldn't quit.
So you wouldn't quit?
He
Yep.
knew me good enough. If he told me something like that,
Yeah. What sometimes inspires us more than anything is when someone tells us we can't do something, right? We revert back to children. You can't do that. Oh, yeah? Let me show you. Yeah, watch.
it almost killed me, but I made it.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I said that about my father. My father still thinks what I do for a living isn't work, so. Make no mistake there. But those actions, right? It's the actions that we take. The things people see us do. That's how we inspire others to tell that story. But what speaks louder than words?
Action.
Action, right? That goes along with your competency. Why don't we follow the people who aren't competent? No action. We inspire by the things that we do, right? I have no idea where the clicker went, so I'm just... Here's some things. What characteristics do leaders possess? Honesty, forward thinking, competent, they're inspiring, right? And we have to be able to believe in them, right? Trustworthiness, expertise, dynamism. I was going to say that wrong. So, and how do they do all this? Through credibility. Do you think most of the elders would be willing to follow Jack if he didn't have the credibility and the work that he's already done behind him? No. He'd just be another guy. Why are we listening to him? You know, mutiny. Let's overthrow him. Let's get someone in there that has proven themselves. No, Jack has proven himself, so that doesn't happen, no matter how mad they get at you, Jack.
I'm telling you, though, I'm getting to be pretty long in the tooth. I need somebody to take over.
Look at Gary, a pillar of his community for many years. We joke about how great the food is. The food really is that great, but everyone knew Gary worked hard. Gary was a business owner. Gary got up at 4 o'clock every morning because you think he wanted to get up at 4 o'clock every morning? Probably not. But he did because he knew people were expecting him to open those doors and to provide them a great lunch every day. Gary's not one to ever let anybody down. He built credibility through the years as someone that was trustworthy, that was honest, someone that they could depend on. And now look at the leader that Gary is now in his community. He's built a community center. I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. Newt and Gary built that place with their bare hands. All we did at CCO was give them the money. They did the work. They went out and found the materials at a cheaper price, and they did it themselves. People see that hard work. He inspired other people by their actions. People wanted to be a part of that eventually. And now he's got a great team around him that work just as hard as he does because he's inspired them to do so. Credibility goes so far in the work that you do and as being a leader. Okay? I can go back to this trustworthiness. What happens to that whenever you tell the smallest of fibs and people find out? It can damage your reputation, right? They always say reputation takes a lifetime to build and only seconds to destroy. And we've seen that over and over. Look at some of we talked about celebrities earlier, but look at people that have done great things and then made a mistake. And what is it that we remember about that person?
Mistake.
We forget about that mistake. We forget about all the great things they did before. It's the same thing as being a leader. People are going to look at you through a microscope. Okay, so again, your actions are going to define how people perceive you. But credibility, it's all about credibility, guys. Credibility is going to be the foundation of part 2. Whenever we get into the next session in January, credibility will play a big part in that, okay? So I do want to cover a little bit of this with you. We'll talk about a shared vision. We talked about that earlier, about how we all share, how you can share your vision with others. That's something that I struggle with, Patti struggles with, other individuals that I know struggle with. We have a vision in our heads, right? We know how things are supposed to look and what we want to do, and do the words always come out right? Not exactly. You have to be able to articulate those words. And some people don't get it through words, right? We need to draw them a picture of what it's going to look like. Visual. There's a reason that every time we have one of these sessions that Lorraine always writes down that she loved the video. Lorraine is a visual person. She likes the visuality of that. We could probably talk to her all day long, but in order for her to 100% get the picture, she needs to see it. So we have to do that too with our shared visions. We just can't talk about it. We have to make it doable and seeable for people. Okay? Forward thinking, we talked about that. Always moving forward, always getting better, always learning something new, always moving beyond the status quo. There's a way to make this better. We just have to find it. And hard work, credibility, and all those things will flow into that. You must be reliable. Again, if you say you're going to do something, you better do it. I've learned many lessons whenever I first started from Charlie Soap. He used to take me in the communities and just tell me old stories about how things were with him and when they were doing community work, and in the history behind some of the communities and those sort of things. And that's one thing he always told me, was like, if you say you're going to be somewhere, be there. If you say you're going to do something, do it. He said, and if you're not able to, let them know why, and apologize to them. Or tell them why this isn't going to happen. He said, you have to be reliable. He said, it's okay to be wrong every once in a while, or not be able to be everywhere that you're supposed to be. He said, but be accountable for it. Have a point of view of the future. That goes along with our shared vision, right? We have to have a point of view. Where's the ending? Where's the ending spot? Where are we trying to get? What's the end result of this? Have a point of view for the future. Articulate the possibilities. Is there only plan A? Always? No. You better have a plan B, a plan C, sometimes a plan D or Z. You need to think through in your mind the different landing spots that you can end up at. Because, let me be honest with you guys, I've been doing this work for 9 years. Hardly ever has it ever gone 100% the way I thought it was going to go. All those conferences that you guys have gone to over the years, oh yeah, there's been things that happened. I just didn't let you guys know about them. There's mistakes that happen. Now, I used to bother me. Now I know that I need to have A, B, and C plan whenever we go into things like that. I know it's not going to go 100% the plan. Just be prepared to take care of the unexpected. Have backup plans. Cannot appear to be weak in the face of adversity. Again, we can't. What happens when people think we're weak?
You fall apart.
You fall apart, right? Even if it is just a perception. We may not be weak at all.
Lose your followers.
You lose your followers. You lose your vision. You lose the momentum that you have going forward. You lose trust, absolutely. That nucleus of everything. We can lose that too. Be diligent in guarding their credibility. Okay? Be diligent in doing so. The biggest word that I can say to you guys today when it comes to this, transparency. Don't ever make it look like you have something to hide from somebody. Transparency. Communicate properly. Be an open book. Be that open book. People will respect that about you.
Explain too.
Yes.
If there's something different.
Yes. Explain it to everybody. Don't just say, well, that's the way it is to somebody. Tell them why it is the way that it's going right now. Ask for help too if you're in trouble. Don't just say, well, I don't have an answer to this. I guess we're stuck. Guess what? You probably got some pretty smart people around you.
I like it when somebody says, well, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out.
Exactly, right? Exactly. I think that's what every executive director says in tribal council meetings. I don't know, but I'll find out and let you know. So that's always a good one to say. I always tell people, don't come to me with a complaint unless you have a solution. If you're just coming to complain, I don't want to hear it. But if you're coming to complain and you have a solution to your complaint, I'm all ears. I'm willing to listen. Because people like to complain anyway, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's always going to be that one person that's going to complain about everything. And I find that they're less likely to do so if I say, okay, well, what's your solution to this? Well, I don't know.
You find out who the complainers are.
Yeah, exactly. Try that next time. When you have complainers, okay, well, that's fine. What's your solution to this problem? See, just kind of have a rule for yourself. I've had that over time. But again, be diligent in guarding your credibility, transparency, backup plans, listen to your other people, and for heaven's sake, communicate properly. Okay? All right, guys, we've reached the end. This is our last activity. So this is what I want you to do. This was supposed to be a round robin where we would divide it into teams, but since we basically have just enough to make one team, will this be one team? What I want you guys to do, Patti has some things here. And instead of getting up and moving around, give me some examples. We learned about the 5 exemplary leadership today. And we're going to follow through that. I don't even care. Give me some examples. Sure. Yeah. I don't know where the clicker went. No. Oh, it's right here. Gotcha. It's right there. I said it there. So, let's talk about model the way. Think about your organizations. What's a way that you guys can model the way, George and Linda? Going forward, how can Weber's Falls Historical Museum model the way going forward?
We have to have long-range plans and keep going.
Long-range plan and keep going, right? Okay. Gary, how about you? How can Brushy Cherokee Action Association model the way for people as a leader?
You kind of got to know where you're going to begin with, I would think. And then
Yeah.
you got to inspire people with what you
Okay.
think and get.
Inspire people with your plan. Have something that they can see. Okay. How about the Rainbow House? How does Cherokee Elders Council model the way from now on?
One of the things that we do is we gather donations by modeling us, as the leaders, gathering those donations that shows everybody else there is a way to do this.
Yeah.
There is a right way and wrong way too.
Yeah. So you guys show them the process. You show them the hard work. You've modeled that way for them. Okay.
And also how to give it out.
Yeah.
Too. We do this. We take it upon ourselves to make sure that the donated items get away from Locust Grove. It goes to every place that needs it.
Every place that needs it. Absolutely. I'm going to start right back with you guys. We're going to go back this way. Inspire to shared vision. You guys have told me how you model the way and you're showing people how to do it, but how are you inspiring that vision in the people that work with you and the people that follow you? How are you inspiring your vision? Or how can you if you haven't done so before? If you've had that aha moment today, what is it that you can do that you can inspire shared vision now?
Well, our operation is still a work in progress.
Yeah.
And we have a long-range plan. It may be rather loose right now because, try to make the board of directors, particularly the board of directors, to understand what this long-range plan is, and of course get input from them.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe some strategic planning sessions may be in order.
Just like our building is not quite finished yet, but it's getting pretty close.
It's getting close.
Finish that, but once we get that finished, then we're gonna have to have parking area to accommodate what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we have one project, and of course, we can't get enough funding from anyone to do the whole thing at once. So you have to do this a piece at a time, so that's what makes our project that will work in progress, so.
Okay.
I just hope I live long enough to see it.
How about you, Gary? How does Brushy inspire a shared vision going forward?
You've got to have an end result as to what you're wanting to achieve.
Okay, you need to be able to show people the end point, right?
What you're going to accomplish when you do what you're setting out to do.
Okay, something everybody can see, right? I mean, it's great to go on a road trip, but if we don't know where we're supposed to be going to at the end of it, we're kind of just driving, right? We kind of need an end point. We need that little, what do they call it, a pen now on your Google map? You need a pen. You need a red pen. Okay, how about Weber's Falls? What's your inspired vision?
Well, I find just in talking to people who come in,
Yes.
what their interests are, and especially the children.
Okay.
What they want to know about history.
Yeah. So you take a personal interest, right? You take a personal interest in them and share what you have with them,
Yes,
right?
and then we can implement things.
That kind of makes
they
us feel
come up
good,
with.
doesn't it, when people take that personal interest in us? I had a really good rapport with my customers whenever I worked at Talquan Lumber. I took the time to know their names, find out just a little bit about them, and then next time they would come in, hey, Bob, I know your son was having trouble having some medical issues. How are things going on now? And I built a relationship, and by the time I left there, it wasn't just a business relationship. I had personal relationships with each of my customers. I knew them, and I mean, they still tell me happy birthday on Facebook. They see me out, they say, oh, they give me a hug sometimes. It's been so long since I've seen you. You have to kind of build that personal rapport with people, and by touching them and just learning their name or just a few little things about them, that touches them here, and it makes them feel good, right? That's another way. That's a great share right there, Linda. Okay, challenge the process. How are you going to challenge the process going forward?
Well, I just recently set up a children's display of things that they can touch
Yeah.
and pick up, because there's so much they can't.
Yeah.
And one of the things I put was an old 1920 typewriter and stacks of paper. And little bitty kids, they want to type on that. And the older kids, they've never even seen one like it, And they line up to do that, Chris.
They do.
And I
Anything
got
they can
old
touch. That's why I love
camera.
taking Avery to Best Buy.
I've got
He can
old-
touch whatever he wants to.
Old camera, and they can pick it up and see how it works.
Absolutely. And little do they know they're learning something at the same
No,
time.
they don't. and they
What a
love
nasty
it.
trick you're playing on those kids, Linda. What a nasty trick you're playing on those kids.
No, it's just really fun. I had a couple that came in the other day. They had a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
Now that's little.
Yeah.
That little 3-year-old, I put a chair where they can get up in the chair,
Yeah.
and she typed on that. And she was carrying her paper around with her so proud. And she left with that paper. And I told her when she left, I said, now you come back and see me again. And she said, she will. So that's, little ones, you've got to catch them early.
Yeah.
And try to,
So instead of just going with this is a don't touch museum,
I got one
you're going to
person-
challenge the process now that you want it to be for everyone. You want it to be from children on up all the way through your senior citizens, right? And you're educating them whether they know it or not, which is great. Gary, how are you going to challenge the process going forward at Brushy?
That's a good question. One thing I think of is you have to take negatives and try to turn them into positives.
Absolutely.
There's always bad.
Negatives and turn them into positives. Absolutely. How about Rainbow House? How are you guys going to challenge the process going forward?
I think one of the things that we do is to try to add on different projects as we go along. We don't just stay static.
Yeah.
In our long-range plans, we have things that we're going to put into effect. And some of the things are coming into fruition now.
Yeah, that's
Early
great.
on, when we first started the Rainbow House, we had a wish to work with the elders and help them socialize. Well, our people now are putting together a little station where they are gonna be able to socialize, like a seating area with a table and games and things like that, and just where they can sit and have a cup of coffee. That's a big plus.
That's a big, and I think you answer my next question. How are you going to enable others to act with that? You just answered both questions with one thing here. You guys are, by doing that, you're enabling others to act. You're enabling others to see what you do and to want to be a part of it and to feel welcome.
Even now, with the limited availability to do this, we still have some that show up for this purpose, socializing and stuff.
Yeah.
But once we get the building finished, the area
Yeah.
for this purpose,
Yeah.
we should have a lot more people.
Absolutely.
I look forward to that, when we can really implement this.
That's
And I think it's
awesome.
really good because this project is being put together by our people,
Yeah.
our sub-managers or managers and
Right.
their volunteers.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
Those with the boots on the ground, see, they've got the first-hand look,
You know, they're
ground level
thinking.
look at this, and we take their suggestions, ideas, and we work off of that.
But it was something that we had hoped for at the very beginning of what we started a
Yeah,
long
right,
time
right.
ago.
That's awesome.
It's kind of like refining the process.
You're finding it. That's great. Gary, how are you going to enable others to act in your organization? I know this is something that you guys kind of hurt sometimes in this area. What is something that you can do to get other people to take that responsibility?
You kind of have to sell them, I would think, on the importance of what you're doing.
Yeah.
To get them to,
Yeah.
get them.
Maybe a good elevator speech is all you need. Maybe something that's going to inspire them, just a few words. Just like Patti talked about with Gandhi, broke his down into just 5 words. Just something as simple as that, something that's going to inspire others to want to be a part of it and really be a part of it and take responsibility. And maybe their aspiration is someday to be in your spot, Gary, and that's great, because guess what? You don't want to do this forever.
It
You don't.
wasn't just his words, it was his actions.
His actions, right? Competency again, right? We want to go back to that. If you're going to say it, you better do it. Okay? That's what builds the trustworthiness. Exactly. It builds that nucleus of trust. And once they trust you, they'll listen to you. They'll believe in your vision. And they will follow you as a leader. Okay, Weber's Falls, how about you? Enable others to act. What are some things you guys are going to do? I know a big issue with you guys have a much older board of directors. And they're not always able to participate and do a lot of things. How are you going to enable others to act to fix this problem? And even if you guys don't have an answer, just ponder it a little bit. And
We're working on the library now. It's a big thing for us in that one of our members, that Carrie, gave us over 300 books from her personal library when she died. And they're really wonderful books. They're the Cherokee roll books.
Mhm.
We're trying to get that set up to where it will honor her. And because she did that, we had another lady that gave us some more books. And we're hoping that, because right now, you've either got to go to Muskogee or Tulsa if you want to look anything up.
yeah,
And we cover a large area down there. And we put a computer in there thanks to Patti. And they'll be able to do research in there.
Okay.
And that's a long-range goal.
that's a great long-range goal, so people can have a place to do research.
And
Okay. So you're hoping these things are going to bring a new group of people in, right?
It will.
Well, great.
I've
Great.
already been asked if we'll check books out, and I'll say, no, we don't check them out. You can research them here.
Okay.
You know, many of these are first editions, and we just can't
Yeah.
let them go. And let me add this, one thing. Brad was there the other day, and he said, you've got books I've never even seen.
That's great.
Now, that's That's awesome coming from Bray.
It is. That's great, guys. Okay, last one, encourage the heart. How are you going to encourage the heart of the people in your organization or the people that you hope to draw in, Linda? How are you going to encourage the heart? What are some things you can do to encourage the heart? Just give me one.
My mind's just kind of blank.
That's fine. That's fine. Think about that. Gary, how about you? How do you think you can encourage the heart in Brushy? How can you inspire those people to do more?
Well, it'd be like if you watching that commercial where them little kids, you know, they have different things where you help the kids, and seeing the little kids in the need is what encourages, it pulls at your heartstring, and
Yeah.
I think it'd be kind of that way.
Kind of that way, right?
Yeah.
Encourage them. Okay, Jack, Lorraine, how are you guys going to do that at Rainbow House?
I think our appreciation dinner we had for our
Absolutely, I
staff
think that was
volunteers,
great.
That was the goal, to show our appreciation and make sure.
Absolutely.
And I tried to talk to each one of them individually, that I don't normally, I may say hi, hello or something, and a few words, because I'm not there all the time, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, but I acknowledge them every time I'm there. But this time we had a little more time where we got to know them a little better.
Yeah.
And they opened up at our dinner. I talked to them longer and they opened up, so.
Absolutely. And sometimes people just need that interaction, right?
One thing we do also that I think helps is they keep track of how many people come in, and how many family members, how many food baskets
Yeah.
go up. And to me, that's encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it encourages everybody.
Yeah.
To see that what is actually being done, what has actually.
Absolutely. And I know you guys are, just a suggestion, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong on this, you guys are doing a great job of letting each other know what you guys are doing. But is the community really aware of your numbers and the things, and the impact that you guys are actually having on your community?
Not as well as they should be.
I think once you guys let them know, I know it's hard, especially for Cherokee people, for Native people, for us to brag on ourselves and the work that we do.
I know
But if we continue to want to move forward, we have to let others know what we're doing.
I know we want the
And I
Cherokee Nation to know what we're doing.
Absolutely. And think about letting the town know, let the county of Mays County know what you guys are doing. Let Google know. They're a big part of Mays County now. They love to hand out Mays County donations. That's where, by telling your story and showing them the impact that you're having, just think what your money can do to help us move forward from here. With minimal resources, we are having this impact. Imagine what we can do with your help. Talk to them like that. Encourage other people's heart. It just doesn't have to be the people that are close-knit to you. Encourage those outsiders. Tell them why they need to be a part of you. Tell them why they need to help your organization. Tell them, with your help, make it a combination. With your help, we can make a difference. And I know sometimes it's hard for us to do that. It's hard for us to kind of brag on the work that we've done and those sort of things. But in today's day and age, we kind of have to just a little bit. Now, don't get arrogant. Don't be arrogant about it. You know how great I am. Let me tell you.
I get trumpets.
She said it. I didn't. All right, guys. Before we go, we'll do the closing circle here in just a second. But this is the challenge. This is the leadership challenge for heaven's sake, right? This is what I want you guys to do within the things that you learned today before January. I want you guys to think about the things that you said that you could do better. These 5 things. I want you to pick one. I want you to pick one. Start that process between now and January whenever we come back. Start the process of at least one of these things. You guys have already done. You guys already did yours before you came in by encouraging the heart, by having your dinner. But the rest of you guys, I'm challenging you right now. Try to take one of these models and the thing that you said that you could do to make things better and start that process. And come back in January and I'll talk to you guys about it, see how far you've come, and see if I can't help you guys, give you any advice or anything like that. But I challenge you today. Try to implement one of these things that you told me that you could do better today. by January. Okay, closing circle. Just real quick, Linda, what was something that was something that you liked, that you got out today, something that you didn't like? Patti and I need to stop wearing red on the same day.
No, that just shows that great minds think alike.
I know, right? Or short people, I don't know.
I like the emphasis on getting more people involved
Uh-huh.
and what it would take to encourage them to do so and what they could gain from it.
Okay. George, how about you?
Oh, I'm trying to be a better leader.
Be a better leader. Yeah. Gary, how about you?
I think it kind of go back to something we went over before, is on your mission statement, which is basically what your end goal is, but
Yeah.
I think it's good. I think it'd be better to let people know what you're striving for at your meetings or whatever, just to go over your mission statements and,
Yeah.
and let people reinforce what your end goal is to be.
Great.
That's something we're gonna do.
To come up with your end goals, share your vision with other people. How about you, Lorraine?
I was impressed. We're a small group, but we really did a good exchange of ideas today, and
Yeah.
that was really good to hear.
It's great. The exchange of ideas was great. For those of you guys that aren't here, keep watching at home. Get your rear ends in these seats so you guys can share with everybody else. Jack?
Well, you know, during our conversation, I realized something that probably we've neglected, and it has to do with getting our message out, and that is our website.
Yep.
I need to get some help
Okay.
with our website.
The website,
We've been
absolutely.
neglecting that, and I need to get into that.
Wait a minute, Jack. Did you have an aha moment in here today?
What?
Did you have an aha moment in here? Say, haha, we need to do that.
I did.
We made a difference today, Patti.
Absolutely.
We made Jack Hummingbird have an aha moment.
You know what's great?
That's,
It's
you just gave me the project that I'm gonna be working on.
if anybody can do it, Jack, I know you can.
I'm gonna need a little help with somebody.
We must be related, because once again, he got kind of.
He stole your words again, man. I'm beginning to wonder he's looking over at your papers. What's your answer going to be? What do you got on number 3?
What we brought up at the end about getting the message out as to numbers,
Mhm.
which is impressive. That's what I was gonna say, which kind of, I think is what he's saying, put it on the website.
Absolutely. And whenever you look at organizational websites, they always put their annual report up there, or they're, showing the numbers. So if anybody's researching you guys, they put in Cherokee Elders Council or Rainbow House, Locust Grove, and it pops up. Anita Christie with CBIHP was looking for you guys yesterday. What does she do? That's the first thing she did, was try to Google your website. That's what everybody does now. You need to know something, just Google it. That's all you need to do. But yeah, absolutely, guys. That's great. That's why we like having these sessions. That's why we continue to bring them to you guys. It's not only all the things, all these teachings that we're trying to give you, the networking and the exchange of ideas and those aha moments that you guys have in here, because we all do that, right? We overlook things. It's right in front of our faces, and we always overlook those things. It's always great to have those reminders and to have those aha moments. That's what this is all about. It's about learning from each other, learning from the teachings, and having those aha moments. And then finding those solutions of how we have the aha moments, but how we move on from that, how we move forward. Again, leadership attribute, always moving forward, right? Always forward thinking. I want to thank you guys all for coming out today. Thank everybody for watching online today. I hope Patti and I were able to inspire you a little bit. We look forward to everything we're going to do within the next year with this. So, yes, Linda?
I just wanted to say that this is so nice. That what y'all put in.
Oh, thank you. Patti put a lot of work into that booklet, many, many hours. So that's what Patti always says. You give me the meat and potatoes, I'll make it look pretty. So that we're a good combo and good team in that way. But again, guys, thank you everybody for coming. We invite you to come back to the next one. These are the last Tuesday of each month, the 10 a.m. morning session, and then a 6 p.m. evening session. stay tuned to our YouTube channel, check your emails, check out Facebook, and we'll be coming back to you very soon. Thank you.